Welcome to the Believe and Achieve podcast with Lyndon Longhorn and Jay Manners. You will learn many hints and tips throughout this program. It will be a process which will be ongoing and will inspire you throughout your career. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Believe and Achieve podcast with your host Jay Manners and Lyndon Longhorn. And today is the season finale of our very first podcast. Isn't that exciting? And what a way to finish off this season is we have a special announcement that we soon learned this week that Lyndon Longhorn has qualified for the Tokyo Paralympic Games. How do you feel, Lyndon?
Just dab it out, boys. Dab it out. No, I feel good. Now that it's been officially out there, it's scary to think 10 years of work of graft, it's just paid off. It's about bloody time. To think I'd set myself the target back in 2008 to then qualify, go for trials in London, then go for trials in Rio. Then I took a 2-year break. It's all been a bit of a roller coaster, to be fair, but finally, it's all paid off, and now it's it still doesn't feel real. It's in my head as though, is it actually happening? Are they just? Is it? I feel like it's part of a joke at times. But I know it's not.
No, it's
words just can't describe what it feels like. To be fair, I think when I get my kit, then I'll be like, okay, it's actually happening.
Yeah. Well, no, it's definitely not a joke, and I can assure you of that. I just want to say massive congratulations. I'm sure that you've heard it from me several times this week. But yeah, I just want to say I'm really, really proud of you and the hard work that you've put on in the pool and outside the pool especially, and especially with going through trials and with that drama happening there. You've overcome so much these past 18 months and these past 10 years really of your swimming career, what we mentioned in our last episode, going through our swimming journeys, how 2012 happened, then 2016, then you had a break, and now you've come back, and it just seems everything's fallen into place at once for you, and I couldn't be more happy for you, and I think you'll smash it out there in Tokyo.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's crazy to think overall, I've been around the sport for 12 years, but obviously I've had that 2-year gap, and I think for me personally, I think the gap helped get my mind back into it, and then obviously having a little one and becoming a dad, it's kind of when your little one gets in the water and goes and swims, that's your motivation to just go, right, do you know what, I want to get back. I felt like something was missing with it, and I think getting reclassified and then dropping down a category and then knowing that it's now okay, you've got a more competition to go with, and it kind of sets into think, do you know what, there's actually a bigger chance now of going further with your swimming.
Yeah.
And I know there's been loads of speculation about, there's potentially it's going, potentially it's not going. And it's okay, it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm used to trials now and the way things go, but now it's okay, it's actually happening. So yeah, I think for me, it just goes to show you never give up. There's always going to be hurdles along the way, and whether it's taking a gap and coming back and then getting back into it, if it works for you that way, great. If you hit it off with a strike to start with, then brilliant. That's a good sign to carry on going with it. But I feel like you're always knowing yourself what you want to do and where how you feeling with your sport.
Definitely, and I think it ties in nicely with what our podcast is about, which is Believe and Achieve. And I know that you run that throughout the whole of your life, really, not just in swimming. If you believe in something, that you will achieve it, and you're the prime example of doing that, and especially now going off to Tokyo. And not what a lot of people realise is that this is your first international debut as well. So you've just jumped straight in the deep end, pardon the pun, but you've literally hit straight the deep end. Does that affect you at all, or how, not being to Europeans or Worlds and then just going straight to Paralympics?
I know it's a bit crazy to think normally international debut is probably a Europeans or a Commonwealth, a World, something like that.
Building yourself up, isn't it?
yeah, it's kind of like, okay, well, like maybe it's a club will sort something out and go abroad and race and things like that. But to go to go out of the sport and then come back and to train. Yes, we've trained through a pandemic. We've been in the water and out of the water, in the gym, out of the gym. It's like going. It just feels like I don't know. Words just can't describe what a manic mental
Yeah.
year the last 18 months have been to get to this point. Like, yes, first international debut of going to games, and like it's yeah, it's weird. I think once my kit comes, once I'm like on that plane getting out, then I'll be like, shit, like this is actually happening. I mean, like in my head now, it's just going. I feel like I'm just in a dream, and I just want someone to just knock me out and be like, just wake up, man. You're absolutely fine. And I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like God knows what, like, because it's your life's completely changed forever now. Like you're a
Yeah,
Paralympian, like it's a status, isn't it? Like, and especially like with this year and with everything that's gone on over like the past 18 months with the pandemic and everything like that, and it's like defying so many odds of you going to these Paralympics because like you've came back to the sport, you've trained through pandemic, like you said, and you go into the games with like just so much. Like it's not a normal season, is it? It hasn't
no,
been a normal lead in or a normal cycle. So many things have changed and so many things have crept up, and you've overcome them
yeah,
barriers, like massive barriers, and you're on the plane to Tokyo. It's honestly so inspiring and so surreal that you've done all of this. And like obviously I know that we speak every day and stuff like that, and I've seen your progress, and like it is so inspiring to see, and like it certainly inspired me with my swimming career and everything like that, and definitely a lot of people in the club as well.
yeah. I know,
So,
like it's mental to think about when you go in the club and like yes, we speak every day and we speak to everyone every day. And when people say, "Oh, like beforehand, oh, have you heard anything? Do you know if you go and anything like that?" And it's like technically, like there's been forms filled in and things like that along the way, but it's nothing's official until you actually see the team sheet.
yeah.
So it's like, yes, it's there, yes, it's not there, and it's all that weird feeling of being like, come on, like waiting for Christmas type of thing.
Yeah.
Every day has been like a countdown, but once you like waiting for the team announcement, it's like, right, that day is gone. What time is it? It's 12 o'clock. You look at your clock again, it's 10 past. You're like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
it's just like driving me nuts because it's just going so slow. And you just like, I just want to see if I'm on that team sheet. And I think now that it's out there, and obviously, like you hear people in the club like saying, like it inspire loads of people and motivate them. And like for me, like I just do what I want to do and I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
And if everyone sees it like that, then that's brilliant. Like if I inspire someone to get into the sport or motivate them to do something, that's good on my side. But for me, I just want to get in the pool and get the job done. And like I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I wasn't back with Durham side or had the support that I had behind us. Because I feel like when I came back to the sport, I weighed 62 kilograms. But whereas now, over the last, like since March up until now, I'm down to like 55. So it's like absolute crazy to think like in that short space of time, where I've actually come from and how quicker I am getting. And it's weird that we had a level X in May and we've had a level X 4 weeks later. And anyone who's listening who doesn't know what a level X is, it's like it's an in-house virtual competition. So we all get to race like our own events to see where we'd actually rank and what we're doing at the minute across the rest of the UK. And for me, like from the first level X to now, like I'm still getting quicker. And to think like back 2016, I was at that point where I was stuck. Like I could not find anything else in us. That's what I'm saying. Like that break for me has been the kick to go, right, get back into it. Like you're missing something. It's like that unfinished business. And it's like I seen a quote yesterday which said, never quit. Like you never quit. Like champions never quit. People that are starting never quit. You might be starting off at low level, you never quit. It doesn't matter what you're at, you just always got to push it and push it.
Yeah, it's all about patience and perseverance, and You're the
Yeah.
definition of that, I think, over these past 10 years, definitely. And are you allowed to say what events you're doing?
At the minute, I know I'm going for like a relay.
Yeah.
And then I think as well, there's like a load of other events that I've been put in for. So I think I'm going to do 50 breast, 200 free, 50 free. We've also got the medley that I'm doing, so the 150 medley. But my events are quite spaced out. So if I'm entered for everything that I'm doing, then I race on day 1, day 2, day 4, 6, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
So like it's over 10 days. It's a lot. This is like the longest competition that I've done.
I was
Normally
going
I'm
to
only
say,
racing
yeah.
over. Normally I only race over like 3 days, 2 or 3 days, or 4 to push. Whereas 10 days is kind of like, okay, now I need to prepare my body to go over a longer phase and to change everything around for that. So it's going to be interesting, but like this is just the start. And I
Yeah.
know a lot of people are probably wondering, oh, have you only come back for Tokyo? Personally, I only set my sights on doing a year on year and reviewing that to say like, all right, I'll carry on next year. And then at the end of that year, I'll go, okay, do you know what? I'm feeling all right. I'll carry on for that year as well. Whereas I feel like now it's a sod that, go for another 3 years.
Yeah.
We'll go for Paris. So yeah, that's where my head's at the minute.
Yeah, I think Tokyo is going to just be an absolutely amazing experience for
Yeah.
you. And it, like you say, like 10 days of worth of racing, really, like that is intense. It must be so
Yeah.
intense. Like, obviously, you won't have experienced something like that, but like, again, it's just like learning how to deal with that, and obviously dealing with a different climate, dealing with different time zones. Like there's loads of situations going to Tokyo, but like I think the main thing for you is like having that experience and exposure of international racing.
Yeah, I think like for me, racing over 10 days and like going at that different climate is quite different. When you're used to racing, like you go to a competition normally on a Friday night. So say for example, like you're racing Sheffield, you might travel on the Friday night and then you're racing first thing Saturday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning. You might race early Sunday afternoon, which is what I'm used to, or like you might race Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mhm.
But it's 10 days and going into a different country, like this is something that's just not like normal to me. And this
Yeah.
is what's going to be really good to experience. And I think as well, yes, I know we're in a pandemic, and yes, I know like we're kind of coming out of it, and there's like cases keep going up and down and things like that. But it'll be good to experience it now and then move forward to Paris and then being like, okay, like this is the difference between the two, and this is what is going to happen going forward. And I think that's kind of what I'm like. I am looking forward to it as a whole, rather than thinking, all right, like there's no spectators, like it's not going to be what I'm living up to. But I know now in myself that I'm carrying on for the next 3 years, and that's where I think this is like the motivation to just go, sod that. Like, why do you want to give up now? Why do you want to give up at the first major and then go like come back or like just quit? Do you know what I mean? So
100%. That's
yeah.
amazing, yeah. And well, that's all the questions I've got for you for heading out to Tokyo. Is there any final words you want to say for this final episode?
Yeah, I think for me, like, it's just about knowing what you want to do. I think for anyone that obviously listens to this or who watches it on YouTube or wherever, it's important to know and understand what your body wants to do.
Yeah.
And then it's pushing it to that next limit. Like, yes, I've always pushed myself, but I feel like now, if I compare this what I am now to then being what I am back in 2016 and 2012, I've learned a lot. And I think for me, I still learn to this day. I'm still learning how to race. I'm still learning how to go into each race with a different warm up, with a different structure. Whereas before, I was kind of like, what, 14, 15? So like I'm only a young boy then. Whereas now it's like my head's in it more, and it's that more determination to go. I want to go and get a medal. I'd love to come back. If I come back with a medal, like bloody hell, God, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'll be in a bit of shock, to be honest. But I think I've set my sights. The medals are coming back from Paris.
Yeah.
But anything out here is a bonus. And I think obviously on my socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever, even on YouTube, like there'll be vlogs and stuff on there to try and obviously like memorize it, because this is a one in a lifetime opportunity to go out to Tokyo. Because every 4 years it changes. So you're going to be in a new location in 4 years' time. So, but yeah, it's like the aim of the podcast is believe and achieve. And it's like you said earlier on, like as long as you believe in yourself and you have the right believing team around you, you will go on to achieve bigger and better things. But like I say, for everyone that supported us, I mean, I could thank everyone individually, but the podcast might go on for like an hour or something.
I think the recording will cut off then.
I think for me, it's like everyone like who listens to this, who supported us, and like I couldn't thank you enough for what you have done. So that for me, if I could thank you individually, I would, but I'd be spending a fortune trying to send cards and stuff out. So yeah, I'll just say everyone.
It's the easiest way. No, yeah, exactly. Like it's amazing touch what you said at the end there, and especially like what this podcast is all about. Like with regards to me, we've got a summer festival in a few weeks' time, which is our final season of final meet of this manic season. Looking forward to that.
But do you know what though? Like I know you've got summer festival, and it's great because like I'm going to summer festival as well with you, which is a bonus. But it's nice just to be able to be a team and finally, after like whatever time scale it's took to get a competition together.
Yeah,
I came back to you guys. Yeah, like I came back to you guys in 2019. Yeah. And like we've not had a competition since then. So
we haven't had a competition together since you've joined.
Now we have.
now we will, and it'll be my first time racing at a competition in 18 months.
Yeah.
Like it is crazy, and I'm very, very excited for it, and just ready to get knuckled down and ready for next season. Going to be a very, very good season next season, hopefully with Commonwealth trials and everything like that. So yeah, wrapping up on this season finale. We will be keeping you up to date on how Lyndon does over in Tokyo on Instagram and Twitter. We would just like to say thank you very much for those who've watched our podcast on YouTube. We'll try and see if we can expand our podcast further, ready for the next season. This is definitely not the first and final season. We will definitely be back for more. When we'll be back for more, we'll let you know. Obviously, Lyndon needs to reset and have a mental refresh after he comes back from Tokyo.
Mental break.
Mental, physical break, the lot. Because Lyndon is going to be very, very busy from now till probably September, really, isn't it? Like, so the second season might be around about September time, but we'll keep you updated, as well as keeping you updated on podcast highlights that we've done over the season, and as well as keeping you up to date on how Lyndon does in Tokyo. And a message from me again is never give up on your dreams and always believe, and you can achieve whatever you can in your life that you set out. And also, again, want to wish you the very, very best of luck going out in Tokyo, Lyndon. You'll probably hear many, many more before you go out, because I'll be seeing you every single day till then. And I'm very excited to watch you out in Tokyo. I think it'll be an amazing meet for you.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. But yeah, we'll obviously keep you up to date with what I do out in Tokyo and what's happening and things like that. But yeah, I think it'll be around about September, maybe it's like back end of September.
Yeah.
Going into like October time when we will be back.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it'll definitely be posted on socials and things like that. So keep your eyes peeled.
And I know I probably say for the both of us, like, we thoroughly enjoyed doing this podcast. It's crazy to think that we've been doing this for 8 weeks and got 8 episodes, had 2 special guests involved with it as well. Like it's been surreal in the sport that we've had, and our following growing. It is amazing, and very excited to start season 2. Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope that you enjoyed, and we are so excited to bring brand new content to this. So make sure you check out our socials to stay up to date of when we'll be posting next. Until the next one, take care and remember, believe and achieve.